Hey, Realms of Peril and Glory will begin after these short messages. We'd like to thank our patrons, David Orion, Andre Pandolfo Damiani, and Terry Jensen, for their support in making this series possible. If you'd like to join them and get exclusive Patreon shows, ad-free listening, and even more, then head on over to patreon.com/lightandtragic. Welcome one and welcome all. We are back yet again for Realms of Peril and Glory playing Vael today. I am here with the magnificent Laura Gurley.
Hello. I'm going to be playing Maerydyth Wimvir, the level 3 High Elf Bard.
We're also here with the phenomenal Pip Gladwin.
Hello. I've never been called phenomenal before. I'll be playing Torbrennan, the also 3rd level Dwarf Paladin.
Of course, we are also here with the stupendous Liz Campbell.
Hello. Yes, I am playing Sergeant Zongroff Growlshack, the 3rd level Orc Rogue.
And of course, the fabulous Maddy Searle.
Hello, I am playing Isadora Ravenwood, the 3rd level Half-Dark Elf Necromancer.
And of course, here with me, playing literally every other character except for the waiter,
is the nifty James Barbarossa. Hello, everybody. I'm here to play every NPC. How you doing?
Today we're going to be playing 13th Age, which is a D20 TTRPG designed by Rob Heinsu, the lead designer for D&D 4th edition, and Jonathan Tweed, designer for D&D 3rd edition. And it's published by Pelgrane Press. If you want to check out the game yourself, you can find the link in the podcast description. Last we left off, we were chatting with good old Vincenzo Rapscallion after completely surprising him, coming in first thing in the morning and really setting his whole day off kilter. He had planned a really nice dinner for you. There was going to be really lovely food, and you just didn't want that, and that's cool. And of course, we were at Justice Hall, where we found out all about the leaking information out of the case. And we found out that an envoy containing Maerydyth's father is going to be coming to the city to deal with the jurisdiction of the High Elf, Taavin, who is imprisoned below Justice Hall. Furthermore, we found out that the name of Isadora's mother is Felicity Taylor. As well as, got really sad about, your dad. Where we are now is in the cavernous halls of Justice Hall. Zongroff, you are coming down the stairs and you hear the enthusiastic yelling of Pine Silver as he speaks with High Elf Maerydyth Wimvir in reception.
Yes, can I help you?
Hi. So I'm here to Zongroff and I were gonna talk to Taavin maybe.
Right. Yeah, no. She's just come in, actually. I sent her in to speak to the chief, because he's losing it. He's absolutely raging. If she doesn't speak to him, I don't know what he's going to do.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully, I don't know, she manages to calm him down a bit.
Yeah. No, she seems to be pretty good at calming people down. I wish I was that good at calming people down,
Yeah.
It'd do a wonder on my home life, I tell you that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it's just stuff with my dad. I wouldn't want to bring it up. Yeah, I'm sure you've got a really good relationship with your dad.
I have 2 dads and they're both dickheads. Let me tell you that.
Oh, really? What kind of stuff? Like, how so? I mean, what are they like? Constantly, like chucking you out of the house and making you sleep on the sofa and not letting you eat any of their food because you don't deserve it. That kind of business.
Maerydyth sort of thinks for a second and thinks actually she had a pretty cushy lifestyle in the Elven Dominion and never had to sleep on any sofas and always ate pretty well. No, they're just emotionally mean,
Right, yeah. Only emotionally.
She says, taking a gulp of her coffee.
Yeah.
Only emotionally. That must be nice, I guess.
Yeah.
High elf stuff, I suppose,
Yeah, Maerydyth gets her flask out and she's like, "Do you want some coffee?"
I would love some coffee, mate. I would love some coffee. I've only had 2 today.
This will blow your mind. So this is a little recipe that I made myself.
Oh yeah.
And I call it the Wimvir Whip. It's sort of catching.
That's very fancy.
I hear they're talking about it in the Elven Dominion now too. So it's spreading. And the recipe's secret, but I think you'll love it.
Well, hey, if it's anything like the fancy high elf stuff, it must be really top shelf, really good stuff.
It's pretty great.
Yeah,
It's up on the board at Cafe Pirelli. I don't want to brag or anything.
Up on the actual board.
On the actual board, scratched
That's very
in.
nice.
You pour a large cup of very, very dark brown liquid into the mug of Pine Silver, who just, and Zongroff, you're coming into the room as you see this liquid touch Pine Silver's lips.
This was literally the moment I was going to pick Zach, so thank you. Oh, hey, no, just Pine, buddy.
Zongroff, hi.
Hi, Maerydyth. I kind of like, make a little like eyebrow raise at Pine, being like, maybe.
Whoa, this stuff is sweet, mate. Blimey, what do you say this is called? The Windveer Whip?
Windveer Whip, yeah.
I feel like I've heard the name Windveer today, but I don't really remember where that was.
It's probably because I played a really good gig last night, so I reckon that's why.
I'm actually 100% certain
Yeah.
that is where I've heard the name Windveer today, and I can't think of any other Windveers that might well be in anything to do with my job description.
Pine Silver is about 2 seconds from hitting the wall.
Yeah. How much coffee's in there? How much caffeine is in this thing?
Tried to warn you, buddy.
Oh my god! I love this!
I mean, it's basically just espresso and sugar syrup, but I'm not going to tell you the ratio.
I don't need to know the ratio, I can taste it! I can feel the ratio in my brain!
Zongroff, do you want a cup?
Zongroff, you actually legitimately need to have this.
I'm going to take Maerydyth to a different room. It was really nice to see you, as always, Pine Silver.
Oh, sweet, where are we going? We gotta get down to that. We gotta get down to that orb shop like yesterday.
I'm gonna go question a suspect. I'm gonna take Miss Winfrey's
All right, the
statement.
three amigos, all three of us, ready to go question a subject.
Yeah. Oh, who's gonna man the desk though?
Oh my god, the desk! Things are gonna go to pot if I don't manage his desk.
I think you've got just the right energy for manning the desk today. I think you're going to do a really good job of that.
I can cross-organize by 2 different systems. Nobody is gonna be able to find anything except me. This is my in with the chief.
I'm just gonna take Maerydyth by the shoulders and just lead her out of the room.
All right, I'll be here when you're ready to go.
Yep. You have at him, Silver. Yep.
He seemed really cool in like a sort of sad way.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Right. Maerydyth, how are you doing?
I'm going to be totally honest. I'm having a bit of a rough one. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm sort of nervous because obviously Darren, my dad, is coming here, and I don't really want to see him, but I feel like we've probably got stuff we need to talk out. Like, why'd you send Taavin to kidnap me? What's going on? Why are you potentially involved in like all of these missing people? Just normal teen stuff. But
I'll be honest, these are questions that I think the Harbor Guard will also need to ask. That journal you found, have you got it?
yeah, I've got it with me.
Did you manage to make anything out?
I mean, I couldn't really get to the bottom of this. It's mostly written in a code. I could only really kind of decipher a few names and the term birth certificate.
Roll me another intelligence check, Zongroff. Please tell me you rolled another
natural one.
That is another nat one.
I don't know what birth certificate? What the fuck?
I'm the worst.
What a weirdo!
ever.
Oh my god, Taavin! Why is he going on about birth certificates? What a fucking nutcase! Oh my god!
This man is clearly insane.
Oh my god, this has broken my brain. Okay. Well, that's super weird. Anyway.
That can't possibly be linked to anything else.
Well. No, I'm like crying. Okay. Right. Well, look, Maerydyth, I don't suppose you spoke to your fathers?
I mean, I did give my other dad a call earlier. I did try and be sneaky about it. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I know you said that might not have been the best thing to do, but I just did it. Because, you just got to go for it sometimes. You just got to live your life. So I called him, and I called Irving. I pretended to be Darren, and he was having none of it. So we basically just got into a huge argument. He didn't give me any more information, really. He just said he wanted me to come home. And I said no, you know? I'm not about that.
Right. Did they say that they hired Taavin, or do they...
No, wouldn't even admit to that.
Okay. Well, look, I think the next thing we need to do is we need to talk to Taavin.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know this guy better. I probably shouldn't bring you in the interview room because you're just like a civilian and like a victim, and it's weird. But I think you can watch from. Sorry, I'm making up some world building now. Can I, if I go and interview Taavin, can Maerydyth, watch from, behind the one-way glass?
I will genuinely let you bring her in if you want, or she can be behind glass in an interview room.
In the politest way possible. I feel like an over-caffeinated 16-year-old.
It's a great idea. I completely agree. Let's go.
I think you should give her the lead on this one. I think send her in first.
I'd like to arrange it so that she can watch and basically knock on the glass or something if there's something, but I'd like her to see or hear the interview. But
do you have any cool earpieces? So I can hide behind the glass. I can be all cool and secretive, and I can be like, hey Zongroff, ask him about this thing, and then you can, and then we'll be like, yes, got him.
Sure, magic, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, if you really want.
Okay.
Also, I think that will look really cool. I think that will look cool and intimidating. I think he'll be intimidated by that.
Yeah, that's some magic doohickey. But basically, short version, I would like to interview Taavin with Maerydyth.
Yeah. Do you want me to cast Charm Person on him so he thinks that you're his friend?
No.
Okay.
Not the,
Is that not really allowed?
It kind of invalidates the interview. There's some rules and stuff.
Lame.
Yeah.
Sorry. But, maybe later.
You guys head down into one of the interview rooms, and a guard. Maerydyth, you are popped into this place behind the glass. You see there's a few kind of speaking stone-based technology crystals kind of recording a lot of different angles of this room. You can see there's audio recording happening, so it's being saved for, any possible trial that needs to happen. And Zongroff is given an earpiece so that you can speak with her while you're in the other room. Would you like it to be visual? Or do you want Taavin to be able to see it or not be able to see it?
I mean, he doesn't necessarily know who's on the other end, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, he might intuit it based on you asking things like, why were you working for my dad? But
Yeah, that is exactly how I would phrase that question, yes.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
But he might be able to intuit it and use that to advantage somehow, but it's up to you.
I mean, I don't mind if it's visible. You're already letting us have this technology. So
you've got an earpiece kind of coming out that you can see, and you go and sit in the interrogation room. Everything kind of starts up around you, and the door buzzes on the other end, and guard escorts Taavin into the room.
Oh, good morning, officer.
Good morning, Taavin.
How can I help you this morning?
I have some questions for you.
I'm sure you do.
Yep. So it's Taavin, yes? Is that just Taavin?
Could be.
Fun. Have you got a surname?
Who's to say, I could be anyone really, couldn't I?
Right. Okay. I can see how you've decided to come into this room, Taavin.
You could always ask Maerydyth what she thinks my surname is. Is she around here at all?
Oh, we'll be getting a full statement from Miss Winfear. Don't you worry. And all the people, obviously, who witnessed everything that you did. So not to worry about that. Plenty of questions to be asked all day.
Well, what can I say? I saw an old friend from high school and things got out of hand.
Right. So, Taavin, look, I'm going to start it this way. I know you're from the Elven Dominion, and I know you probably think that you can ride out your time here.
Many elves are.
That is a true fact. And you know what? I appreciate a true fact. Well done, you.
Of course.
Gold star.
I'm proud of myself. Do you have actual gold stars here, or just the little play pretend ones you pin to your jackets?
Oh, cute. Taavin, I know you think you can probably sit here and ride out your time and wait until the Elven Dominion comes to claim you.
Usually people get lawyers in when they're being asked questions like this, do they not?
I don't know, Zach.
Don't worry, I'll be providing my own. They'll be here.
Yeah, I mean, Taavin does have a right to a lawyer. Would Taavin like to waive that right?
Oh, I'm having somebody to come and take care of my rights soon.
But presumably he's happy. He's been read his rights. Presumably he's willing to talk now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just mean to say I have somebody coming from the Dominion to make sure that everything is above board.
Yes, no, I have in fact been notified of that. And, yes, Taavin, I would expect that, well, there's two ways this can go. One, you can cooperate, give me the information that I want to know, and when you're come to be fetched, you'll be able to leave, be taken away, and face whatever you face in the Elven Dominion. That's really their jurisdiction, their problem. The other option, my friend, is that we can tie up your transfer in bureaucracy so far that you will be left to rot in this cell for weeks. There is a man upstairs, an unsung hero of the guard by the name of Pine Silver, and I have never met a man who has done as much paperwork in his entire life. And that man knows every loophole, every false form, everything that will keep your transfer delayed for months. So we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
I genuinely need you to roll me a charisma check on this. Because that was fucking brilliant.
I don't have any charisma, Zach. No. That's a dirty 20.
Yeah.
Did you get a background to that?
No background.
Right.
With
You
the,
can add a background.
If you let me put my police background, that's a 25.
Taavin looks riled, to say the least.
I don't think you have a goddamn thing on me. What you have on me is an assault charge. What you have on me is a perhaps illicit use of magic. That's what you have on me.
Yeah,
you haven't
it's
got
fun.
a
That does
goddamn
sound
thing.
like things on you now that you list it
Yeah.
like that. I make a very obvious note in my notebook of those things. Assault.
Assault.
It's petty. It's petty compared to the sort of trouble that's going around this city. And I'm not the only one involved in it.
And it's funny you bring that up, Taavin, because I actually agree. I think that probably you are not the big bad that I'm looking for. If you help me find them, I won't have a lot of time for you, frankly. And you can go on your merry way, go through the system, go back to the Elven Dominion. So why don't you tell me where these names in your notebook came from?
I don't know a thing about any notebooks. I don't know a thing about any big brain higher-ups that you might get involved with, okay? If paperwork comes down the line, then I guess paperwork comes down the line.
All right, let's start at the beginning. This notebook, you're saying, isn't yours?
Never heard of it.
Oh my god, like you must have heard of a notebook. Like, who doesn't know what a notebook is? Like,
I don't know what that means. I don't know the meaning of the word. Notebook? Never heard of her.
All right, I'm sorry. We did jump to the advanced level here. Let's start from the beginning. Who asked you, hired you, what it might be, to go and get Maerydyth?
Nobody asked me a goddamn thing, all right?
Right, so you're just snatching women for your own means? I'll take a note of that one.
Well, you know, nasty Dominion half-elves like me, where who knows what sort of manners we got taught, I guess.
That orb you had. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems you came prepared. Where'd you get that from?
I don't know a goddamn thing about any orbs or about any notebooks. And I don't think you got anything to prove that I do.
I mean, we do have,
So
and I can't
frustrating.
stress, multiple witnesses who saw you both produce the orb, attack the public. We know this notebook was found on your bag. Again, you can leave this to be proved in a court of law. I'm taking our bets here that I'll be fine. Or we can speed this all up. You look like a busy man.
It's so sad to see so much anti-Dominion opinion that's just pervaded the law enforcement. I'm I'm sorry that your institutional bias against my homeland has led you to think that I'm part of some evil collective of shadowy high elves somewhere in the distance, but I can assure you that if I was, I wouldn't say a goddamn thing. Don't you think it's occurred to you that the Elven Dominion can do a million worse things than me, than wrap me up with paperwork? Do you understand?
Do I get the suggestion that I'm not going to be getting much out of this
You get the
guy?
suggestion.
Right. Well, that may be so. Over here we do follow the rules. And I hope you enjoy your stay.
Looks like I'm going to have to, isn't it?
Yeah, if I feel like I'm not going to get anything from this kid.
What I will tell you is, see how well you find it holding back the high elf coming to talk to me, and then we'll see if you maybe understand what sort of situation I'm in, whether you think I could hold them back, whether you think you could protect me from them.
I kind of look at him because I think I have a very easy way of preventing that person from coming to him, but I go, okay, we'll see. And then I'll leave.
Yeah, I guess we will.
Yeah, you head back into the interview room. Meredith's been watching the whole thing. Do you guys have anything you want to say to each other?
I mean, like, don't let him rile you, because, like, end of the day, it's my dad. I think you could take my dad easy.
Plan B. I'm okay. Meredith, look, if it's your father who is coming to deal with Taavin, again, you said that you have reason to think that it was your father that sent Taavin in the first place. We have every right to stop him.
Yeah, well, that's what Taavin said.
Okay, well, look, I'm probably gonna need you to give an official account of what Taavin did, but don't worry, I think there's things we can do.
See, I reckon we should, like, maybe send caffeinated pine silver in there to talk to him for a bit. Maybe we need to man the desk, because, someone's got to man the desk. But, like, I don't know, just see if that wears him down a little bit, maybe.
Oh, it's all right. I've got a big job for Silver. I am going to set Silver off on, like, ruining every piece of paperwork.
We are going to cut over to, I'm just going to say, Torbrennan, I think you're done with the Rapscallions. I think that I've given you everything I can from that. Reasonable to say you've left that conversation now, that place now?
Yep, works for me. Anything else would have just been pleasantries along the same lines of like, okay, bye. Thank you for your information, and I'm not going to come after you unless I find out you were lying.
Sure, that is fair. Okay, so we're going to cut over to the Church of Ross, where Torbrennan, you've been told Isadora is going to meet you there. You're waiting outside after your encounter with the Rapscallions, and you see Isadora approaching you in the distance.
Isadora's immediately, as soon as she sees Torbrennan, gonna run up to him and, like, she's not even gonna try for a hug. She's just gonna slam into his plate, bang her head off his plate, and just start crying.
What's the matter? What's
Everything's
happened?
fine. Everything's absolutely fine. It's just
Insight check.
I don't think you need one, my man.
Yeah, I think you're right.
it's just been a really hard day so far. My teacher yelled at me. They're not going to let us get the book that you want. My dad has been holding back a lot of stuff about my mum, and I understand why he did it, but it's just really hard to have it all come out now. And the newspaper is full of me doing scary necromancer stuff when I was just trying to help people. I'm sorry.
No. Don't apologize. It's all right. Yes, did see the newspaper. This is going to be how it is for a bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing what we're doing, which is the right thing. And, public opinion, that can change. And, we're, I think, really the only people who can change it. So we'll keep doing what we're doing. And, you're on this case. You're on this case with us. And when we solve it, your name will be up there too. You'll have been a part of it. And that'll be a small thing, and people will still judge you. And people will still, assume the worst based entirely on what it is you can do rather than what it is you choose to do with the things that you can do. And it's going to, it's going to be a little shit.
Yeah.
Isadora. But it will change. and you won't be alone. I'm sorry about revelations, family revelations. Yes, I suppose I ducked out before too many of those could happen. So I don't have much experience in that field, but my sympathy.
Yeah.
And your teacher, go over that one more time for me.
Yeah, sorry. Professor Leonore says that the Ways of Valor contains blasphemous and heretical content, and she won't let anyone look at it. And it's locked in a vault deep in the school. Speaking of that, I had another dream last night, and I think I know where it's being kept.
As in where the entrance might be?
Yeah, it looked like a perfectly ordinary door in my dream, but I just knew that that's where it was.
Well, I'm loath to resort to breaking and entering immediately, but these things perhaps become necessary down the line. Is that the door closed then? Is there no way we could reach it through official channels?
I think that my Professor Urog might be able to help us. That's why I asked that we meet here, because she tends to hang out around here.
Yes.
She's a member of the congregation, so that might help us get to it more officially. But I'm not sure.
Well, at least we have breaking and entering as a last resort,
Yeah,
eh?
it might be quite fun.
Yeah, it sounds it.
Bit of light B&E.
Yeah, why not? Then is when you're on a quest, a barred door or some bureaucracy, there's sometimes no time for that. And perhaps before the end we will have to act first and apologize later.
Yeah. And before we go any further, I just wanted to say thank you, properly, for everything you've done and how kind you've been, and because I know we got off to a shaky start with Horace and everything, but you've changed your mind, and that means a lot. And if anyone tries to fuck with you, I will drown them in a tidal wave of blood. I'm trying the swearing thing. I'm not sure if it suits me.
I'll take it. I like it. But rivers of blood. Yes. Pointed in the right direction.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, look at it this way, Isadora. If the reason people don't trust you is because they don't know you. All they know is, as far as they're concerned, is what you are. And that thing has many frightening connotations, rivers of blood and so forth. But look, if I can come around, then anyone else can.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a hold on this book, shall we?
Yes, absolutely.
So you guys pop up into the Church of Roz, and as you enter, you do remember, Isadora, you were given directions to where the library is, and Gak, I believe, said she often is in the library, and that's probably the best place to look. So you head out through a side door in the kind of a nave area of the church, and up a spiral staircase, and you actually enter this really lovely, small little library, so much smaller than the library you're used to at Athril, but it looks very well tended to. They care very deeply about the knowledge that is in this space. And you do find Gak is sat reading a book, and she sees you as you come in.
Just not to step on the scene, but before it starts properly, I think at the time that Torbrennan was meant to meet Isadora, Zongroff does send a message to Isadora asking whether Torbrennan's turned up, because I'm still worried that he's going to be murdered by the Rapscallions.
I'll swiftly reply and say, Torbrennan arrived safely, just going to talk to my professor.
Oh, Isadora, it is lovely to see you. It's good to see you here. You came.
Yes. Thank you for letting me know that you'd be here. I brought my friend Torbrennan.
Of course. Hello, Sir Dwarf.
Torbrennan, this is Professor Gak Urog.
Yes, I'm a professor of herbology at the university.
Did we? I think we met at
You
the
did meet very
service.
briefly, yes, yeah.
Yes, I don't think we've been properly introduced. My name is Professor Urog. I am a herbology teacher at the university.
Torbrennan, Torbrennan, Paladin of the Blades of Valorous.
Very impressive. It's very good. I'm glad that you finally got to see this place. You've not been in the library of the church before, have you?
No, I'm very, very excited to look at the books and see what I can research.
It is not much, but it is somewhere that I appreciate greatly. To have somewhere quiet, away from the congregation. They can be a little intense. I'm sure you know that yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I actually had a question about a book that's being held in the vaults of Athril. Sorry, I can't remember. In the last episode, did I mention that before?
She knows that you've requested a book that's in the vault and that Leonore did not allow you access to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question about the Ways of Valor, because Professor Leonore is not keen on letting anyone have a look at it, and very specifically does not want me to be looking at it.
Oh, I'm sure it is not personal to you. I'm sure that she just doesn't want any students to get access to this book in particular,
Okay.
And non-students?
Well, anyone, especially not anyone who's not a part of the university, I mean to say staff in particular.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds like it is sensitive information, though, the vault it is not a bank vault, it's a place to get to pretty easily. It wouldn't take a fancy lockpick to get in. It is a more complex magical nature, but I know where it is. I'm sure I could help you get there if you were that desperate.
That would honestly be really, really helpful.
Yes, ever since Madame Trowell suggested it, that book to you, and then I heard that Leonore turned you down so much. Leonore and I, we knew each other when we were young, and I understand her, and I especially understand why she wouldn't want this to get into the wrong hands. But Isadora, I think you had the right hands. I don't think she is necessarily being reasonable.
Thank you.
Do you not, if you'll excuse me, do you not risk incriminating yourself by helping us in this manner?
I think that if you can make it past the magical defenses of the vault, then I'm not sure that will be a problem.
I can also just quickly jump in here. Gak would know she actually is perfectly within her rights as a professor of the university to give someone access to the vault. The vault used to be used to place items that were deemed banned or, anything that was difficult to level with, anything they didn't want to get into the wrong hands. But the vault is designed to give things out. The magical defenses are designed to allow those who are found worthy to receive information. The university, and Gak would tell you this, is that the university was founded on this idea that information should be free, but an understanding that certain information could be difficult to the world. And if the vault itself, not any person or body, if the vault itself judges that you are a worthy person to receive the information you seek or the prize that you seek, you can receive it.
Yes, if the vault allows you to take it out, I'm not going to be in any trouble.
A security system that chooses who to let in.
Yes, it is about...
Or not.
It is about worth. It is about honor. It is about honesty. If you are worthy of the information, then you will get it. I understand why Leonore does not want to give you access to the vault at all. I am sure that she would much rather you not even know the vault exists. Perhaps she would think that it is knowledge above your station, even that the vault is around. But there are members of staff that respect the old professor's decisions to establish a vault that anyone could access were they deserving of it.
Well, perhaps we should amass our little group and share what information we've gathered and have a little trip to a little vault. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Yeah, let's do it.
Of course, I would be more than happy to show you and your friend. It is best to travel into the vault with others. Emotional support.
Okay. That's an interesting
I mentioned
turn
that
of phrase.
These magic were trials.
Okay.
Yes, trials of a spiritual and emotional nature. I would encourage you to bring your friends. They would be able to support you through the trials themselves.
All right. Okay. Probably not the jaunt that I had in mind, but
It is not a jaunt. This is precisely why. This is precisely why Leonor keeps this so secret. It is no jaunt whatsoever. Jaunt it certainly is not.
awesome. Okay, makes sense. I think we do need this book if we're going to understand the visions we've been having. So, obviously for the Blades of Valorous, it's very important.
Yep.
Well, I respect that it's important for the Blades. You, sir, deserve to have access to a book about your organization.
Honestly, it was rather a shock to hear that there was a complete copy. To my understanding, the Blades of Valorous have been operating for many years under the assumption that all that was left were the texts, scraps of text held by our leader.
Well, the vault and its contents are not publicized anymore. Many used to enter the vault in an attempt to retrieve untold knowledge, and very few were successful. If there is something that is kept in particular in the vault, it is likely most other people in the world, even those about which the information is relevant, would have no knowledge of it.
Well, I'm very curious. Very curious
And
indeed.
you mentioned visions. I think there are a number of texts within the vault that would help with visions, and, well, we are all friends in here, prophetic magic. If they are going to find it anywhere, it will be there.
Good to know. Good to know.
Professor Urog will take you whenever you need. She's pretty accessible.
Yes, it is my day off. As are most days, it seems.
So I presume you're wanting to meet back up with these guys?
Yeah, I assume because I'm the one with the speaking stone, I will be the one to send the message.
I mean, I can yell really loud.
True. Might be just as effective.
Just echoes across the city. Zongroff, you get a ping on, and Maerydyth, you both get a ping on your speaking stone from Isadora saying, "We're done at the Church of Roz. I presume. Do you want to meet up?"
Yeah. No, I'm happy to meet back up. I think, I mean, providing Maerydyth has agreed to kind of take her statement.
Yeah.
Before we leave, I'm going to go to Pine Silver and explain to him that he is now the most important man in this case right now.
What? Me? I always knew it would come down to this. That'll show my dad. I can finally tell him I'm the most important man.
There's a couple things I need you to do, Silver, and they are all very important.
You got it. Anything for you, buddy.
First thing,
Yeah.
what I have here is a statement
Right.
from
Yeah.
Maerydyth Winveer explaining the fact
Yeah.
that Darren Winveer
Right.
is a possible suspect
Yeah.
in this case.
Okay.
If he turns up, he is
Right.
not to have access to Taavin until we have questioned him.
Okay. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right?
yeah. Makes sense.
As soon as he gets here, you need to let me know.
You said Winveer.
Yeah.
As in where?
I feel like I heard that somewhere else here today, but I'm actually not really sure. I'm not putting two and two together. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm not actually sure what it's about.
The guy from the Elven Dominion. When he turns up, you let
Right,
me know
yeah, no, I
immediately,
know.
and you do not let him see Taavin
No,
until I am
of course. No, I wouldn't do that. Not once. Not if you tell me to do it, I would die for you.
Okay, we're gonna need to scale the intensity back like 30%, but
Oh,
like
sorry,
I
I'm just
really
feeling
appreciate the
great.
enthusiasm. Yeah,
I just have a lot of energy today, and I
just-
cannot think of why.
I look at Maerydyth and I hope she appreciates this is
Oh.
the consequence of her own actions.
Yeah. No.
Meredith's loving it.
Before you go, Thistle was looking for you, Penny.
Right.
Yeah, she's going all over the place. She's gone crazy. She's in a rage.
Yeah, okay. All right.
She's gone mad.
I will go and talk. Okay, Silver, you...
Yeah.
What I said about the envoy from Elven Dominion, remember that?
What was that?
And... Look, also, I need you to do some paperwork.
Okay.
Do all the paperwork.
Yeah.
To make Tavin's transfer as difficult as possible, okay? We want to keep him, and we want to keep Darren Windsor here.
Triplicate, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I believe in you, buddy.
If the police as an institution exists for any reason, it's to absolutely hold up justice in every manner possible.
I mean, this is a larger discussion, but probably not wrong.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Look, I'm gonna go find Penny.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give Pine Silver a quick top up of coffee and just put some whipped cream on the top and just give him a thumbs
You know,
up.
something in me is just itching for this, and I don't know why. I feel like maybe if I don't eat this, I'll die.
Cool. This
Oh my
is
god.
I'm
This
just
is
gonna,
such a crazy energy shift from Pine. I love it.
There's a lot here. Do I have time to just go see Penny, or should I?
Yeah, you got time to go see Penny real quick.
Okay.
I think. Where are you
in.
guys meeting up again? Are you guys meeting up here?
I mean, I assume we'd meet, at least as far as Isadora and I are concerned, we'd meet somewhere close to wherever the
You guys are relatively close to one another. Might make sense to just, if you guys go to Justice Hall, you can all meet there, and then
Yeah, that's fine. If that makes the most sense,
Yeah.
then we come to them. That's fine. Cool.
Great. So yeah, you pop into the archives of Justice Hall, where Penny is working. Within Justice Hall is a huge archive of records. In there, you can always find a watch officer with their head buried in decades worth of records. On this day, you see Penny Thistle going through stacks of paper, trying to understand the Harbor Council break-in, and then suddenly, with a ping in your mind, you remember, birth certificates.
Right. That's that nat one. taken hours to register. Oh, good job, brain.
Just several hours too late.
Taking a while, but yeah. Okay, I'll go and disturb Penny's work. Yeah.
Hey, Grouse Shack, how you doing?
Hey, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb.
No, it's all right.
how are
Look,
you
I've
doing?
been thinking about something. I reckon this Taavin bloke might have something to do with the thefts of the birth certificates. Has that occurred to you?
Oh yeah, like immediately. No.
Oh, mate, you should have come and told me as soon as you worked it out. I've been here literally all morning trying to piece this together, and if you'd have known the whole time, you could have just come and helped me.
I didn't. I'm sorry. Now that you mention it, though, it was in his diary, his journal here. The words "birth certificate."
You never bothered to tell me that one.
I have also been busy. I'm sorry.
Look,
Remember
mate,
that fight?
I'm sorry.
You
I know. I
came
get
to-
it. You were.
I'm
at that
sorry.
fight. I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Track Ram's back now,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful for that. Sorry, I'm tightly wound. All right, I got a lot of stuff going on
Yeah.
with this break-in and birth certificates. Like the total number of records are the same as they should be.
Right. But you're saying some are missing?
Well, we've looked at the records and we haven't been able to see what's missing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm as confused as you.
So, but you're sure there's something missing?
Look, when that break-in happened, everyone upstairs, they were putting it right down to just vandalism, right? But the records, they've been fiddled with. Nothing's missing, but I can't prove that. And as soon as Track Rem, who's the lead on this case, gets targeted by that elf bloke, and you come here and tell me that you reckon he has something to do with it, and he's written it all in his notebook, there's got to be something there.
Right. Okay. Well, I show her the names from the notebook. This notebook, it's mostly in code, but these names here: Magda Lightfoot, Ironbone, Persephone Williamson, and this Felicity. They're all in the notebook. And there's this word birth certificate. It's worth, I don't know, it's worth looking if you can find him.
I just rolled a check for Penny. Penny's having a quick look through. She's seen this by now. She kind of knows what's there, roughly. She pulls out She can find each 4 of those people, and she's found about 5 or 10 Felicities, like several Felicities that have been born, maybe even like 20. She asked, do you have a surname that would help narrow it down?
Ravenwood?
No Ravenwoods in here. Not a Felicity anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was worth a shot.
What about Searle? Is that in there?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in the room.
Searle, there is a record of a birdfolk called Searle. They seem to be about like 30 years old. Their record's in there, yeah. Would you like to maybe message Isadora about, because you don't know the surname for Felicity?
Yeah, no, I will message her.
In fact, why don't we just say you guys have all arrived and come into the room at this point? Maerydyth bursts into the door having followed you and said,
Just into the archives.
It's me.
Hello, I hear you were having a private conversation.
Oh, hey, everyone.
Hello.
I see Pine Silver's not doing the front desking very well. That's fine.
Yes, he seemed awfully preoccupied with a lot of paper. It was kind of, going everywhere.
It's okay, though. I gave him more coffee. I thought that would help.
No. Right. This is...
Speaking of, Penny, do you want a cup?
Oh, mate, I'm actually gasping for one. Right.
Penny.
I am exhausted. I've been here like all night. I haven't gone home
coffee
yet.
from the machine. I will buy you a coffee from the machine.
This one looks lovely. I don't want to be rude to you, mate.
It's really a lot. You make your own decisions.
Yeah, how much are we talking? Are we talking like a single shot? What are we talking about here?
No, more than a single shot. There's a lot of sugar in it as well.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to keep me going. Hey, look, early in the morning, right? Sounds like it's going to keep me going.
It'll get you through that afternoon slump, I reckon. Yeah, there you go.
Brilliant. Oh, mate.
she drinks the coffee and suddenly Penny Thistle is a normal average person again. You feel as though she is so exhausted and beat down that finally she is restored to kind of her true kind
How you doing? You good?
self.
I fixed your coworker.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Right, so obviously these the records do correspond to the names in the book. Seems like they're all here. I can't track down a Felicity. There's a number of Felicities in here, unless I've got a surname to go on. Then I
As
can't read
soon
the
as
rest.
she says that name, I kind of flash over to Isadora awkwardly, like, ooh.
I spoke to my dad, and we might be looking for Felicity Taylor. Is she in there?
She pulls out a birth certificate for a Felicity Taylor. She was born on the 19th of Elation, 1299, in St. Stoneheart Hospital, and she also pulls out a death certificate. She died on the 20th of Domalt, 1329.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if this was somebody related to the case, then we can't exactly get info from them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, thanks, Penny.
Hey, if you need anything else, let me know.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated. I think you're probably right. I think we might be looking for the same thing here.
What was the death date again?
It was the 20th of Domalt, 1329.
Was that recently?
No, it's 1345.
Okay.
So that was about, I believe that's 16 years ago. Isadora, I would like you to roll me an intelligence check, please. And I would also like everyone else to please roll me a perception check.
21.
Damn. Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay, fantastic.
14.
27.
All right. Isadora, you quickly do the math in your head. Your dad told you earlier today that he saw her and spoke with her when you were 5. This was a year before then. She died a year before she apparently talked to your father.
Okay.
Torbrennan, you take a look at that death certificate and you see that it's written really hastily, like fast. Does not match the careful script of every other death certificate in there. This is a fake death certificate.
This is a forgery.
You what? How do you know that?
Yeah, look. And I'll hold up another one of them that isn't as hasty and kind of place them next to each other. The hand is good. It's a good replication of the hand, but look how quickly look at the strokes.
I wouldn't have caught that if we...
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised I did, but there you go.
Yeah, I mean, if I was just looking at the names of the disappeared, then this one wouldn't have even come out.
Yeah, and my dad said that she spoke to that he spoke to Felicity when I was 5, and that was a year later than this death certificate, so that matches up. She might not be dead.
Or she might want people to think she is.
Oh.
Then I think we found what was fiddled in the records.
Isadora, I'm sorry, are you okay?
It's been a rough day, but
Yeah.
I'm okay. And, it seems like a lot of things are coming together in a rather interesting way. But my professor, Jurog, is happy to help us to get access to the Ways of Valor, which might give us some information on the visions we've been having. And that might be helpful for the wider case.
Well, I feel like we found out a lot about some of the people who may or may not be involved and what they may be up to and where they might have been. And Sergeant, I have some information, to share with all of you about my meeting with Mr. Vincenzo Rapscallion. But the one thing we have almost no information about is why we have shared the visions we've shared.
Are we still standing next to Penny?
Wait, visions? You guys been having visions?
No, it's the coffee. It makes you think you hear
Penny's dug her head back into the records, and you guys are speaking.
You get away with
in
it
the
this
corner.
time, boys.
Okay, I will gently usher everyone.
I don't care. Sure, let her
That's a good
listen.
Torbrennan wouldn't care.
I wouldn't give a shit. Yes, we have no understanding of why or how any of this is happening, and I feel like this might be our perhaps the only way to find out what's going on with the whole prophetic visions business. And I understand I have a vested interest in this, given my own religious views, but whilst the prospect of reading the complete Ways of Valor is very enticing, the matter at hand is what motivates me in this moment. I just felt that might be relevant to say.
No, of course, if your professor can help us get the book, great, we'll take it out the library, have a little look,
Yes, it sounds a little more involved than that. There was talk of trials and a need for emotional support.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what now?
Yes.
I called it a jaunt, and Professor Jurog was very clear that it was not that.
Well, I'm kind of a natural born winner, so I think we'll be fine.
She described a perhaps the wrong person to be explaining this, some kind of magical security system that seemed to vet those who attempted entry to the vaults through some sort of process, some sort of trial process, and then those deemed worthy were allowed access.
Like an exclusive club. I love it.
Yes.
I think Zongroff kind of looks deeply confused, slightly worried, stares into the middle of the distance for a second and kind of remembers all the, insane nonsense that's happened over the last 2 days and just kind of comes to terms with it like a full, all the stages of grief at the same time. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, trials, get a book. Yep, makes sense.
Well, excellent. Seems like they're both in. Isadora, I say we go get this done.
Yeah.
I mean, Torbrennan, I'm glad you're all right.
Ah, yes, yes. Vincenzo Rapscallion, charming fellow.
Right.
I mean, I hear crime bosses often are. Yes. Well, shall we walk and talk?
Yeah. Yeah, hang on. Can I actually just run back to Penny for a second? And just kind of awkwardly tap the
Listening
desk.
to the whole thing.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. What's up?
It just...
Nose deep in here. Couldn't hear any incriminating things you were talking about.
You've always been a friend, Penny.
You got it.
It just... Sorry, my brain's still working a bit slow. It occurs to me You said the records, there's the right number in there.
Yeah. There's this exact same number as there should be. Why'd you
Right.
ask?
Well, because if we have a fake death certificate, there must be a real one missing.
Huh. That makes sense. You're right. I mean, presumably the whole thing has been forged, so it can't have just been altered. If this is a new death certificate, then you're right, there must be one missing. I will have to cross-reference this and see if I can work out where one's gone.
Yeah. I mean, if you need somebody who's really good at doing a lot of paperwork, talk to Silver.
I would really rather not talk to Silver.
I feel you.
He's been telling everyone I've been on a rage today, and I feel like I'm very calm. And then he told me that the chief was on a rage, and the chief is like, that's the most zen I've seen the chief in a while. So I don't know what his situation is.
Yeah.
I think he just likes telling a nice tale.
Yeah. But, he's got some strengths, so just... anyway, I'd appreciate it. Just let me know if you
right,
if
yeah,
anything.
and you let me know what's going on with this case when you find anything else out. All right, if this is somebody going after me or my boss, then we need to know about this. Yeah,
Absolutely. I got to go to the library, a different one. Bye.
A lot of libraries going around these days, isn't it?
Yeah, so many libraries in this game. There's the crime library, there's the magic library, there's the other magic
Wait,
library.
there's a crime library.
Yeah, the records room is the crime library.
That's what we call it.
You're in the crime library.
The library of crime.
The crime
I
library.
thought there was like a Rapscallion Crime library.
We went into a Rapscallion library where it detailed every crime they ever did in intricate, incriminating detail.
I didn't pick the right dialogue choices to get to the crime library during the conversation, so
Yeah.
my
When
bad.
that happens, you miss out on a whole crime library.
So, are we headed to grab Gak and head down to the vault?
Yes, as
I
we
think
go,
so.
I will fill in the others on the Rapscallion related stuff. Would you like me to do that in game, or what I can do is I can just tell.
I'd like to hear what everyone else thinks about it. I'd like to hear what everyone else thinks about it. So if you could just quickly
no
run over
problem.
the information, that would
I made
be really good.
some
Yeah.
very Torbrennan style notes. Right, as we go. So, Vincenzo Rapscallion seemed almost too keen to convince me that whatever was going on had nothing to do with him and his family. He made special mention of his brother, one of our missing persons, Leo Rapscallion. Now, an interesting thing about Mr. Leo Rapscallion is he's apparently something of a talented, by all accounts, but an amateur magical engineer. And whilst Vincenzo did not have many examples of the work that Leo had done, he seemed to think that my description of what we faced in the bell tower and deafening door sounded very, very much like his brother's work.
Interesting.
Now, yes, and apparently Leo has been trying to get Vincenzo to incorporate this technology that he's been working on into their daily crime for some time. And it seems very much that Mr. Vincenzo has no interest in that. What else?
Do you think this orb that Taavin had could be one of Leo's as well?
Well, we did find that one powering. Getting this right, there was an orb in Deafening Door, wasn't there? They pulled it out of the machine, and
There
that's
was
what
a deafening
stopped
door,
the.
and then there was
That's what stopped the countdown.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll pull it out of my bag and show it to everyone because I've still got it.
Yeah, that acorn there, that's a Rapscallion signature, so...
Could be connected.
Makes sense.
Yes, Zongroff. It seems that your predecessor, Sergeant Ironbone, had something of a deal with Mr. Vincenzo Rapscallion. It seems they were sharing information and had an understanding that Leo's actions and disappearance had nothing to do with the Rapscallion family, and that all Vincenzo was interested in was finding out whether or not his brother was okay, but not necessarily, certainly not taking any responsibility for anything that he had done. And, I believe the man. I think I'm, actually that's not true. Naive as I am, I certainly had a feeling that the man was telling the truth.
Yeah, I mean, Zongroff lowers her voice for a second. I mean, when I had that vision of Iron Bone, I don't know, that's what I thought it looked like. It looked like a deal. It makes sense. It's not great, but, Iron Bone was trying to figure the case out. If the Rapscallions had the same ends.
It seems like they've been looking for him too. He also mentioned a name, Searle, as somebody to look into.
Leo's partner.
A partner of Leo's, yes. It seems they shared a lab or a workspace somewhere, but again, Vincenzo did not know where that was. So that's something else to look into. He also...
Well, I got... sorry.
No. I'm dumping a lot on you
Silver,
right now. It's fair enough.
Silver said that they'd located an orb factory, or a magical factory that could have produced the orb that Taavin had. I don't know if it's necessarily the right one, but it's a lead.
Got to start somewhere. His final piece of certainly advice, felt more like a warning, was our friend Vincenzo Rapscallion seems very much of the opinion that Moira Langford is not necessarily what she seems, or perhaps that her motives are not quite so altruistic as all that.
Yeah, I've got some real snaky vibes from her.
Yes, I find it's a common vibe from those with that much money, but and I understand that he has no reason to like the woman, given her stance on the crime in this city. But I believed him. Not just that he doesn't like her, but that perhaps she may have some, well, if not a hand in this, then a hand in something.
Well, keep an eye out. She's not a hard woman to find.
Yes, I am literally living in her house. And he sort of drifts a little bit. It's seemingly only now thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so party at yours next weekend, yeah? Does she have a pool?
I don't know, Zach, does she have a pool?
Would you like her to have a pool?
Fuck yeah, she got a pool. She's rich.
Yes.
It's probably on the roof.
Yeah. She got a really big pool.
Oh my god, amazing.
Well, I tell you what.
Let's live through this week first.
Yeah.
She's got an infinity pool, 100%.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
On the roof, yeah.
It just looks out onto the shore, and it gets great light at sunset.
I think if it's all right with everyone, I'm going to kind of, as we're walking, just kind of pull back and just sort of pull up beside Maerydyth and kind of conspiratorially say to her, looks like I've got a date with Zekdog tomorrow.
Terrible crimes.
Oh, cool. That's great. I'm sure you're going to have a really good time.
Thank you. Actually, I wanted to ask, you said at the open mic night that you'd met them before? How do you know them? What do you think of them?
I'm trying to remember how much I've told Isadora about what happened with Ash.
I don't think you said anything.
I don't think
You have.
Yeah, you've said a lot about your friend, but you've never. I've never clocked that you were talking about yourself.
Yeah. So, I don't know Zekdog well at all. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they were kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. But my friend that I told you about who moved and left school and moved to be with this boy that she liked. And then she found that he was getting with someone else. Well, that someone else was Zekdog. But I mean, I'm not one to judge. I don't think Zekdog kind of knew about my friend or anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Roll me a wisdom check, Isadora.
All right. That is 19.
You know that she's talking about herself.
Okay.
Finally.
I'm just gonna eventually got there.
Yeah, massive flashback to every other time she said, my friend this, my friend that. You're like, oh my God, it was you the whole time.
Brain explosion. I'm just gonna go, oh, I see. And I'm just gonna give her a hug. I'm just not gonna say anything, I'm just gonna give her a hug.
Just gonna hug back, and I'm just gonna be like, I don't have any hot chocolate on me, but it seems like you've had a rough day. Do you want some coffee?
I think out of character, I'm remembering what happened last time. So I'm gonna say, that's really, really kind of you, and I love your coffee, but I think I'm feeling a lot of things right now, and I think it would just intensify everything, so I'm gonna save it for later. But
yeah, this one time, one of my friends, she drank way too much of it, she just completely freaked out, got really angry, could not calm down for like a whole day. It was really bad. Silly friend.
You know, again, she's talking about herself.
cool. Okay. Good to know. Yeah. I'm sure that must have been tough.
Yeah.
For your friend.
I'll just fill everyone in on the situation with my dad's and them coming and everything, so everyone knows that now.
Fantastic. So has everyone exchanged all the information that they want to exchange?
Well, Torbrennan and I are now 50 yards away having our own conversation.
Having a really in-depth conversation about the case.
You guys having another conversation that you guys want to fill us in on, or?
No, I will tell them about that Taavin wasn't speaking, but he did mention the Elven Dominion having, strong powers and things like that. It sounds like he's
like a worse punishment in store than anything we could do, kind of thing.
Yeah. It sounds like he might be involved with higher powers of the Elven Dominion, but otherwise was being both obtuse and annoying, you'd be surprised to hear.
Fantastic. So I'm going to say you guys arrive at Athril. Who's actually been here before? Torbrennan, you've come in before. Isadora, you've definitely been here before. Maerydyth, you've been here before. Zongroff, have you been here before?
I don't think I've been in. I mean, I imagine I'd be vaguely familiar with it. I live in the city. And
presumably I'd have had some kind of incident with skeletons there that she'd have to deal with.
In the chemistry lab, just turning on the Bunsen burners. No.
I'm going to say, Zongroff, you've never actually come in this place, the front entrance. Right. You've always come in through some weird side entrance because there's been an emergency and this is where the fastest route is. You walk into this place and it knocks you back a step. This is the most grand, opulent chamber you've ever been in, the entranceway of Athril. This is one of the oldest buildings in the city. Athril was built in the original site of the village that the city was founded on, and this has always been a very powerfully magic site in general as far as kind of cultural history can remember. And so there was a school built here, and you can feel, all of you, this intense kind of just ambient magic kind of coming through the place. It is a place designed for those who wield magic. So you actually see Gak is there. You let her know, I presume, through some kind of message or something, or when you'd meet her. But Gak will be there for you when you're ready, and she will meet you in the front entrance.
Fancy.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad that you could make it. You are all friends of Isadora's. I believe we've all cursorily met at the service for Kinrith the other night.
Yeah, that was a real sad night.
Yes. I mean, they're not, pick-me-up parties, you know what I mean? Yeah. In the definition of the name, yeah.
Speaking of, Torbrennan's throwing a party next weekend.
Oh, Torbrennan, you are throwing Torbrennan, you are throwing a party. Is this a party an old orc like me could be maybe invited to?
You know, if I find myself in a position where my current employer's house either finds itself in my possession or I have enough access to it to have such a party, then you know what? Absolutely, yes. We've got an infinity pool and everything.
Thank you very much.
You never know. She might just like mysteriously disappear, like all those other people.
Yes, or a big clock might fall on her. Shall we go in?
Such funny jokes.
So we proceed to the Vault of Mirrors.
Yes, please.
Sorry, what? Okay.
The Vault of Mirrors.
Well, repeating it definitely is very illuminating. Thank you.
If that's where the book is.
Well, you said what? I did not know if you had heard me or,
Gak quickly takes you all, and you start to descend down flight of stair after flight of stair, spiraling kind of down into the deep subterranean levels of Athril. Even you, Isadora, begin to feel uncomfortable as you go beyond the deepest point you have ever needed to go within the university. Yet you just keep going and going and going, deeper and deeper underground.
It's one more flight, I swear.
These passageways thrum with intense magic of an ancient and powerful being. It is almost as if the centuries of magic on this site has transformed the university itself into something more than just a physical space. You feel as though you are stood within the bowels of a great beast who is granting you access into its resting place. Finally, you come to a stop, and Gak gestures to the door. The door is small and unassuming. Isadora, you recognize this as the door from your dream that you woke up with from last night. You have a feeling that if this door hadn't been pointed out to you, none of you would have noticed it.
This is an intense room. It will give you many trials to determine your worth, to take the knowledge from its depths. I shall go no further with you. This is perhaps something for the four of you to face alone.
Have you ever been in?
Myself, I have never been in. I believe it ought to be utilized more, but I'm afraid that I have never been drawn into such a large and important amount of information. The information I need tends to be relatively ground level.
That's funny because she's the herbology teacher.
Being a herbologist.
I got it. That
Is
was
it?
cool. I like
That's
that.
very good. Yes.
You're funny. I like you.
Thank you. You are also funny and I like you.
Thank you.
I'm going to go stand in front of the door.
You go stand in front of the door. Okay. Is everyone ready to go in?
Yeah. Bring it.
Yep.
Go check out a book.
Yeah. It's just like it's going to be another library, right? Like it's just going to be like walking into the library. Like maybe the night librarian will be there.
Yeah, I'm certain, almost certainly, and
I'm afraid no one you know will be in there.
Well, I mean, I don't really know the night librarian. We just sort of have this like banter going on.
You will find only what you take with you.
You open the door and are immediately blinded by bright lights, concealing what lays behind. Do you want to enter?
I'm going to put some sunglasses on and I'm going to stride on in.
Great. Everyone else?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're going in here.
So I guess Maerydyth was sort of the first to, stride in. I think as Maerydyth goes in and Zongroff walks in, I'll just sort of like take Isadora's hand and then we'll walk in together.
That's so nice.
Aw.
Zongroff, Maerydyth, Torbrennan, and Isadora step into the Athril vault, headed towards an uncertain fate. Will they be able to face these uncertain trials ahead of them? Will they be the same when they emerge? Find out next time on Realms of Peril and Glory. We'll see you then. Hey guys, can you let us know where we can find you all? And I'm going to start with you, James.
Hi. So you can find me at Barbarosaphone on Twitter. You can also check out Zach and my other podcast, The Orphans. It's a great time. It's a sort of dark sci-fi drama, very character-driven.
Maddy, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Maddy_abstract. And you can also find out about my personal podcast projects at snazzytapier.wordpress.com. And I also guest as Claire in Y2K audio drama, so you can search on the socials and the podcatchers for that.
Woo! Pip, where can people find you?
My social media presence is as empty as my cold heart, but I can be found popping up in various wonderful podcasts, The Orphans, Wooden Overcoats, Victoriosity, and I'm sure lots and lots more.
Liz, what have you got?
I can be found on social media at Liz X Campbell. I don't tweet much, but maybe if you tweet at me, maybe that'll encourage me to do so. And hey, if you want to tweet at Pip, send it to me and I'll pass it on through that carrier pigeon that we have between us.
Fantastic. I love promoting this messenger by proxy system. And finally, Laura, where can people find you?
You can find me on social media with the handle at by Laura Girling. That's mostly illustration. And likewise, if you want to contact Pip, tweet me and I'll send him a handwritten letter.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can find me personally at ZACKFG, ZachFG on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow Realms of Peril and Glory at RealmsPod. And the absolute best way of supporting this show is to head on over to patreon.com/lightandtragic. There you can get bonus episodes. You can get behind the scenes content, production updates, lots of really cool stuff that you're going to want to get your hands on. And thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Farewell.